God.
A tornado has been confirmed. Protect yourself from flying debris.
The weather. An uncontrollable force. Unlocking life. And unleashing chaos. As our planet heats up, the weather is getting more extreme.
Oh my God!
More terrifying.
That is insane. We're gonna lose everything.
And even more catastrophic.
God damn it, go!
With incredible self-shot footage.
Golf ball size hail!
It seemed like a war zone.
From the front line of fear.
The heat and the smoke, it was so intense.
We witness firsthand.
We can't stop the water. Water is the strongest force we have on Earth.
The wrath of Mother Nature.
Do you see flames from where you are right now?
In every direction, yes.
Large tornado!
From twisted tales of terror.
It looked like a bomb went off.
Earth-shattering natural disasters.
We didn't have time to get out.
We felt a huge earthquake.
And stories of sheer destruction.
It was sad. Like I've never seen the devastation with my own eyes.
We meet the people who have stared death in the face.
I was under the water and fighting for my life.
Absolutely crazy.
Oh my God! Oh my God, oh my God.
And survive the full force of the world's deadliest weather. Coming up.
Oh my goodness.
A flash flood in Australia leaves a family running scared.
I started to fear for the safety of our children.
Gone.
And others watching their lives washed away.
We had nowhere to go. All we could do was sit and wait.
In Wisconsin, a woman and her dog risk getting swept under the ice.
As I tried pulling her up, that's when the ice broke and I went in the water as well.
All right, come on!
A tornado forces a man to take cover in Vancouver.
This is crazy.
I was trembling, I was shaking. I just couldn't get over what I was seeing.
And rainwater helps bring an adventure to an abrupt halt. New South Wales, on Australia's east coast, the country's most populated state. Inland areas are prone to flooding, where rivers break their banks and waters engulf the surrounding land. After 10 years of big city life, James and Lauren Archer have moved to remote bushland to live off-grid.
Living the off-grid life was appealing to me rather than going to work. We start our Monday off with, collecting veggies from the garden, checking on our livestock.
My husband had this great idea to become self-sufficient. You warm?
I'm warm.
And I quite enjoy the lifestyle. Didn't think I would, but I do. Upper
Lansdowne, location of James and Lauren's cabin. Deep in the rainforest, they live with their 3 sons, Jack, Kai, and Liam.
James had put a lot of heart and soul into this place. He built everything from the ground up.
It's March 2021. New South Wales is enduring days of relentless rainfall.
Gloomy, grey clouds, and constant rain. It just did not stop pouring down.
The remote cabin's surrounded by creeks. As they fill with water, the family is increasingly vulnerable.
I knew that the water levels could go up at any moment because they'd been rising and falling over 3 days, getting really close to the cabin.
James checks on a bridge he constructed to cross a creek. It's the only connection between the cabin and the outside world.
Gone.
It's just completely gone. And that was our main line out. It was made of 20 logs, stacked 3 high, spanning a gully of about 15 metres. You know, it was a huge bridge. I knew when that bridge went, most likely all the other bridges were gone. And, it was devastating.
No way out.
Nearby, creeks are filling up with floodwater, just inches from overflowing and sweeping down to the cabin. If the family stay, they're in danger of being trapped.
Obviously, I started to fear for the safety of our children.
We decided it was time to escape. Our neighbour had a cabin. We knew it was on higher ground, but the problem was, how do we get there?
One hour to the north, the village of Telegraph Point. Home to Mosey Melo, his family, and their menagerie of animals.
We're set on 5 beautiful acres right on the river. We have about 24 chickens. We've got 2 horses and 3 lovely dogs, as well as all the local wildlife.
Mosey and his family are at the beach. There's a menacing sight looming on the horizon.
I had that sensation that heavy rain was about to come. And I looked at my phone about half an hour later and I saw an extreme weather event warning.
Back at the family farm, the ground's already heavily saturated from the rain.
I started to walk out through the backyard, down through the paddock, and I went all the way down to the river. The level had risen significantly and it was approaching the top of the bank. We have animals sitting on that paddock level. I knew I had to do something.
Water levels are rising at an alarming rate. Mosey and his parents try to move their animals to higher ground.
The first steps we started to take were to go out to the chicken run and to check on all the chickens. My mum started to round up the horses and move them to a nearby paddock that was on a higher level. I remember my dad handing me these 3 little birds, and as I looked down at them, I thought, I don't think these guys are going to make it.
Meanwhile, James, Lauren, and the children grab some belongings and begin their epic trek to higher ground.
When we hiked out of there, we knew we were going to safety. This was what had to be done. You couldn't hear anything else but the water. It was just a torrent.
Adrenaline just kept us going, kept our spirits up, just trying to keep calm and get to the other end safe.
But heavy rainfall has made the hilly terrain unstable. Sudden flash floods can cause deadly landslides. In the Philippines, a bus has stopped on a remote mountain pass. Typhoon Yuto struck the region weeks before, and it's loosened earth. Seconds later, this man makes a hasty retreat. As the entire mountainside collapses around him. The bus is hit by falling debris. Fortunately, no one is hurt, but they've been seconds from disaster. China, 2020, and heavy rainfall has caused catastrophic flooding. An enormous chunk of the mountain falls down, hitting several vehicles. Motorists are shell-shocked. 3 cars were hit and 3 people injured. But incredibly, everyone survived. A precarious situation in Malaysia. Heavy rainfall and a burst drain have swamped this road, weakening its foundations. Sensing the danger, a driver moves his car. And it's just in the nick of time.
Oh, damn! Oh, my God!
It's a lucky escape for these guys. As the crumbling tarmac and soil give way, causing a massive landslide. Another driver tests his luck, taking a huge risk to move his car from what remains of the street. A total of 5 cars plummeted 6 meters into a storm drain, but mercifully, there were no injuries. Wisconsin, USA, a state famous for its cold, snowy winters, where temperatures can drop to -30 degrees. A wonderland of lakes and rivers lie covered in thick sheets of ice. Nestled on the banks of the Mississippi River lies the town of Prairie du Chien, home to many freshwater lakes, popular with ice fishing enthusiasts. It's January 2020. A 911 call has come through to Prairie du Chien Police Department. Officer Casey Cox is on his way.
I received a call from our dispatch center of a child who was believed to be swimming in the river or fell through the ice in the river.
We are on the marina side. There's a female in the water at this time.
As I walked out of my squad car, then I realized the female and her dog were out in the river trying to stay afloat.
The woman in the water is 72-year-old Jennifer Clements and her dog Dexter.
He was just standing there on the dock, and a bird came flying in and landed on the river, on the ice. He went flying off the dock to chase the bird and broke through. Of course, as a mother, I'm panicked, but I threw off my coat and ran out there and of course went immediately through. He was 70 pounds and I'm 120 pounds, so naturally the ice wouldn't hold me. He's crying the whole time, which is breaking my heart.
As soon as I saw the female trying to stay afloat with her dog circling her, I knew I had to get in the water to rescue her because she looked frail and she's been in the water for minutes now, so I knew she couldn't stay afloat very much longer.
It's a race against time.
We didn't have anything to hang on to, so we're both just floundering. Dexter kind of got on top of me so he had something to keep himself afloat. It was just a natural instinct, but he was pushing me down. So I went down about 3 times.
The extra weight is weakening the ice, and one of the rescuers falls in. With his colleague in the water, Casey must lie on his stomach to reach Jennifer.
I was reaching for the female victim to make sure she wasn't going completely under the water. As I tried pulling her up, that's when the ice broke and I went in the water as well.
Give me a life checker for him too. Grab her there, make sure she's okay.
I could have gone under and been swept by the current and not come back up in the right spot. By then, I was so cold. At this point, I really thought I was going to die.
As soon as I went in the water, everything went slow motion for me.
Grab the
Actually, I started getting irritated because the dog kept trying to climb on my back. So I took the dog by the scruff of its neck and basically just threw it out of the water as far as I could onto the ice.
Dexter's free, but Jennifer's core body temperature is dropping dangerously low.
I looked like a crab coming out of the water, I remember. I couldn't move my arms, they were frozen. They had me by the back of my belt and pulling me along.
Wait, you got a taxi, I'm good, we're good.
Nothing really was planned. It just happened the way it did because we knew it was a matter of life or death within seconds.
The freezing water sends Jennifer into shock. Luckily, an ambulance is already on site.
I couldn't stop shaking. At that point, my body is jumping up and down. I'm sure it was my body's attempt to stay warm.
Dexter the dog is unharmed, and Officer Casey makes it onto dry land.
Yeah, good job there, man.
Hold back the boat, the victim's right out of the water.
It's a very close call. A stark reminder of the dangers of walking on ice.
I think I was running on adrenaline, of course. I guess people realize when they're in that situation that you have to do what you have to do to survive. Your instincts kick in. I wasn't as frightened as one might think you would be. And then looking back and thinking, oh wow, that was pretty scary. I wouldn't want to go through it again, of course.
Wait, you got a taxi, I'm good, we're good.
Thinking about it, it could have ended a lot worse. I mean, the water there was about 17 feet deep at the time. The weather can be brutal here in the wintertime. 30 below with the wind chill at times. Mother Nature is very unpredictable. It's not anything to take for granted.
When winter hits, the great outdoors can turn into treacherous terrain. Southern Russia. And these snowboarders take it slow. A skier up ahead is directing them to the left. Another skier whips past, missing the warning and disappearing out of sight. His snowboarding friends race to see what's happened. The skier's fallen into a deep pit of freezing water. He's badly hurt and at risk of hypothermia. It's a heroic battle to drag the stricken skier out. He's unable to help himself due to his injuries. He suffered 2 broken arms and a broken leg in the accident. But if he was alone, it could have been a whole lot worse. Berthoud Pass in Colorado. And 2 skiers have spotted the signs of an avalanche 400 meters away.
Is there anyone stuck? A dog?
They realize a dog is missing.
This is a big one, dude.
A 2-year-old retriever named Apollo triggered the avalanche and is now buried in the snow.
Get your probe out.
The Good Samaritans begin a pinpoint search.
Come on. This is tragic.
The search continues.
This is a needle in a haystack.
But it looks like a lost cause.
Where'd you see him last?
93% of living avalanche victims can be recovered alive if they are dug out within 15 minutes. But this dog has been buried for 20.
You found him?
Incredibly, Apollo is alive, his nose poking out of the snow.
Come on, he's alive.
And the blind search becomes a frantic rescue.
We're coming, buddy. Yeah. Hey! 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 You're okay.
Apollo is dug out from the depths of the snow uninjured.
Dude, good spot.
But with a shaggy dog story to tell.
That's your guy.
Back in New South Wales, Australia, and the country is experiencing its worst flooding in a century. In rural Telegraph Point, Mosey Melo races to rescue his animals. But for 3 young guinea fowl, it could be too late.
They look pretty well like they're gone. I pulled out the hairdryer and set it on a low setting so I didn't burn them. They were opening their eyes and their feathers were getting all ruffled again, and they looked like they were going to pull through.
The animals have been saved, but Mosey doesn't have time to relax.
The entire paddock was underwater.
In the space of 2 hours, the river has burst its banks. 5 acres of land transformed into a lake.
4 p.m. The water was up to my waist height at that time, and I remember thinking, okay, this is something serious. I could see the chicken run completely underwater. We started to act very quickly to evacuate the chickens.
Take one there. Stay in there, little one. Don't go up there.
There was an atmosphere of concern, of foreboding, of how bad is this really going to get.
The town of Tari, just off the New South Wales coast, where raging floodwaters are sweeping homes from their foundations.
Oh my goodness.
Resident Jason Fletcher and his daughter Katie take refuge on their roof with their family dog.
We had nowhere to go.
Ned.
All we could do was sit and wait and watch.
The car was in the shed.
Yeah, the water, like there was nothing stopping it. It was moving anything that was in its way. My biggest fear would have been the whole house sweeping away with me, my daughter, and the dog on the roof.
Also seeking higher ground, the Archer family make their way through the rainforest in search of their neighbor's cabin.
It's a very hilly terrain. There's a lot of gullies, a lot of watercourses that come through here.
Our target to leave was just to get to higher grounds. My main focus, obviously, was the safety of the kids.
They reach the flooded creek and the broken bridge. James must guide their 2 young children across flimsy planks to the other side.
I had to cross with my eldest son, Jack. I crossed the water first with him and had to leave him on the bank on the other side of the creek. I told him, you know, you've got to stay here, stay still, you can't follow me back. Brought my youngest, Kai, he was 2 at the time. I carried him across. I'm going to get everybody out because I couldn't handle it anymore.
With the family home at the mercy of Mother Nature, 29-year-old Mosey has very few options left.
The water had come in and it was still steadily rising.
This is my bedroom, completely underwater.
This could destroy our house.
It's the living room in there.
I started to get a bit of a game plan in my head. Let's get moving, let's get out of here before this gets worse. The place that I grew up is now underwater, and it's probably not going to be the same when we come back.
The coastal city of Vancouver, Canada. Owen O'Neill has moved there from Ireland and works at a golf club on the outskirts of the city.
I have an interest in golf. It's a great way to just take A few hours out of your day, you head out with a few friends, you spend 4 hours on the course.
Vancouver has snow-capped peaks, but it's close to the Pacific Ocean, and the city has an average of 160 rainy days a year.
Vancouver has the nickname of Raincouver. I thought I'd be used to the rain coming from Ireland, but I've never seen that amount of rain in my life.
It's November 2021. As Owen helps customers in the golf shop, a thunderstorm rolls in.
There was thunder and lightning, and the whole sky went dark. And straight after the thunder and lightning came a hailstorm, which was extremely heavy as well.
The storm mixes with cold air, and the warm waters of the Pacific whip up a large waterspout off the coast of Vancouver.
Wow.
Look at that.
That is incredible.
Meanwhile, avid golfer Xu Song Lee is practicing his swing.
看到这个冰雹越来越大，然后呢，突然一下，你就感觉到那个天空在一瞬间就一下变黑了，然后实际上在你完全没有反应过来的时候，那个风就很大很大。
The waterspout transforms into a tornado as it hits land.
Never saw that before. It's a tornado.
The tornado barrels past the airport, heading north on a path towards the golf club.
I looked up into the sky and I saw just this kind of heaviness surrounded the place. I had a sense that something strange was going to happen.
Suddenly, the wind picks up. The tornado starts its round with a big drive down the fairways. Golfer Xu Song is out in the open and in grave danger.
就是说，在那一瞬间，你会感觉到，就是说一种像那个世界末日一样的。然后很多的树在倒，很多的树叶在飞，然后天空是黑的。
Owen shelters in the wooden kiosk.
The lights eventually just went completely off. The shop went black.
Oh, everything is flying? Marty.
Then debris started hitting the roof of the building.
It's a tornado. Oh,
At that point that I started to worry, I thought it's quite a flimsy wooden cabin, and I thought if anything of any size falls through here, we could be in trouble.
Stay away from the windows, guys. Yeah.
I was also concerned for the customers. They were so open, they were so exposed.
Caught without shelter, Xu Song hits the ground.
最害怕的就是那个黑，就是那种黑暗，但是那种黑暗。
Are you feeling this? Yeah. Oh.
There was so many expletives, I just couldn't get over what I was seeing.
Look, all the. This is crazy.
I was trembling, I was shaking.
No, look, out in the field.
There's a funnel on the golf course.
Oh my God.
He was just thankful that nobody was hurt.
The tornado has hit a hole-in-one, leaving behind a path of destruction in its wake.
You okay? Yeah, okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. 过去以后，你才会感觉到那个有一种后怕吧，就是你觉得啊，这个真的太可怕了，我经历了什么？
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Golfer Xu Song has escaped unharmed.
That is mental.
Owen can emerge from the kiosk to take stock.
When it all died down, like I felt my heart racing. I was sweating. As I went around looking at the damage, it was like I was in a movie. There was just destruction and damage everywhere. On the 10th hole, there was 2 huge pine trees lying across the fairway, and it just showed the extent and the power of the tornado to be able to rip them out of the ground.
Oh.
As I walked up through the car park, there was a lot of damage done to customers' cars. One of the limbs from the trees had pierced a hole in the side of the car door, and the metal had been ripped open.
Yeah, this is my car. Oh my God.
It's Zhuzong's car. All he can do is wander around assessing the devastation to his beloved golf club.
但是呢，又是很快的。当你还没有做出反应，还没有你的大脑可能还是处于空白的时候，你看到那个大自然的那个 power， 很恐怖，对。
The tornado was the first to hit Vancouver in over 5 decades, giving the city and Irishman Owen a rare sight of one of Mother Nature's most destructive forces.
Never seen anything like this in Ireland. There's no tornadoes in Ireland, so to feel the force of nature was breathtaking, to be honest. Scary, but breathtaking.
Mother Nature rarely gives us a sporting chance. In Chicago, a storm hasn't rained off this round of golf. A gung-ho golfer places the ball and perfects his swing. Blinded by the driving snow, he tees off. But the chance of finding his ball is minimal. It's a great swing, but no one's blown away.
Having a kick in the snow.
August 2020, and it's a winter wonderland in Tasmania, Australia.
This is footy, Tassie style. Show us what you got.
Many parts of the state receive a rare blanket of snow as a blast of Antarctic air moves over southern Australia.
Wow, it's actually coming down really quite heavy. You can see it's getting a good cover on the ground now.
This Aussie football coach stays warm under cover.
It's freezing out there.
While leaving his junior team out in the cold.
Come over, guys. Give us a thumbs up.
But this exercise in tough conditions has been passed. It's players 3, coach 0. Frosty Sweden, and this dedicated golfer strips down to his undies. His ball has landed in an awkward spot. He smashes a path through the ice.
Ja, jag tror det. Och så får du ta fokus nu och sen försöka typ putta. Det är värt.
Before wading into the freezing water.
Okay.
And he hits it out of the park. It's a master stroke. And luckily, no balls were lost. The people of New South Wales, Australia, have been battered by record-breaking rainfall and a monumental flooding. James and Lauren Archer try to cross a flooded creek with their young children. There's just 2 planks of wood between them and the rapids.
Once we got the 2 kids, my 2 eldest, across to the other side, I felt a sigh of relief.
Once we got across that bridge with our little wooden planks, the weight off my shoulders.
Fleeing their flooded home, Mosey Melo helps his family reach the safety of a nearby sports centre.
I've gone there plenty of times in the past, but this time was quite different.
The sports centre is on high ground, but soon it too succumbs to the flood, and everyone is forced to the top floor.
We were literally sitting in this little island, the sports club, watching the mayhem play out. We could see all of our cars underwater. Whole town's underwater. I thought to myself, this is the kind of thing that you see in movies.
There goes Steve's kennel.
Yeah. I could see the water pushing out away from the river towards the highway. The highway almost acted like a dam, and so the water had nowhere to go. It could only go up.
The water is rising steadily. The residents are at the very top of the sports club, and there's nowhere else to go.
I realized I've got to let go of the house. The main thing now is the safety of all of us.
Communities across the state are experiencing their worst flooding in over 50 years. The town of Tari is under siege. Jason Fletcher, his daughter and their dog are stuck on the roof of their flooded home.
As far as I could see was just brown water and rooftops.
Hey. Emergency services work tirelessly to rescue those stranded in the floods. And after 4 hours on the roof, Jason and Katie are picked up by the State Emergency Service rescue team.
Yeah, I was pretty happy when I got into the boat off the roof. If the house had been swept away, we mightn't be here telling the story.
It's late evening when the water finally stops rising in Telegraph Point. The stranded residents in the sports club spot their salvation in the darkness.
One by one, they were taking people back to the highway and driving them away. Realizing that we were going to be safe was a huge relief.
Meanwhile, the Archer family reached their neighbor's cabin unscathed. The next day, James has to take another hike back up to the creek for supplies.
It hadn't set in that I could possibly lose the house. I've never seen floods like this before, and I honestly never thought it would ever occur in my lifetime.
The March 2021 New South Wales floods were the region's worst in 6 decades. Some areas experienced 11 inches of rain in just one day. And 3 people tragically lost their lives. James and Lauren's bushland cabin is spared by the flood, but the couple are determined to maintain their self-sufficient way of life.
We'll take on the floods again. You know, this is our new lifestyle. We're off-gridders now.
Mosey and his family are not so lucky when they return to their home of 30 years.
Everything was just a soggy, muddy mess. It was smelly, it was dirty, and everything was in chaos. It was a real feeling of loss. The recovery process has been the most challenging process of my life. I have never seen so many people from so many different walks of life come together and contribute to the well-being of everyone. So it's been an honor to have the opportunity to help my family when they really need it most.
On the far western coast of Canada, on the lower mainland of British Columbia, sits Squamish, named after the indigenous settlers. On the other side of the river, the Monmouth Creek complex, forged by volcanic eruptions, carved by rainwater and rivers. Annual rainfall can be up to 300 centimeters every year. It's the summer of 2015. Edgar Bullen is out with friends amongst the steep and rocky outcrops, canyoneering. Fresh rainfall has made the waterways run fast.
I have never heard of Mammoth Canyon, but after looking at a few pictures and just seeing how beautiful the place is, I just got so excited and just wanted to go there.
But the adventure is not without risk.
You can easily break your ankle. There's lots of slippery surfaces. If you don't know how to use the gear properly, you can get into big trouble. So it can be a life and death situation.
Icy water from the mountains makes for a cold start.
It was a sunny day, and we all met up by a river that we had to cross to get to the canyon. We had those inflatable boats, and we were just swimming beside them as the river took us downstream to where the trail would start to get to the canyon.
Hands are definitely starting to freeze.
The water there is very freezing, can get hypothermia easily.
To warm up, they hike up the mountain to reach the canyon. But as the canyon evolves, they begin the more risky section of the route. Slippery conditions are forged by the climate.
You do not need a rope to rappel. Like certain places you can just cliff jump if it's safe enough. Cliff jumping was pretty exhilarating. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when you're cliff jumping. The place where you cliff jump, the water level could be deep or it can be shallow. Like you have to make sure you jump in the correct place and don't hit any rocks.
Warm. Oh, I walked into this thing. Oh, you okay? Yeah.
Rainwater carves its way down through the rocks.
Okay, go! Woo! Awesome!
There's a place also like it's almost like a water slide feature, so you just sit down and like let the water take you down.
Woo!
But on the steepest sections, a rappel down a rope is the only way to move forward.
Every rappel differs from the other ones. Some of them were very short. Others were pretty high up, like probably went over 60 feet at least. The rocks are definitely very slippery. Some are more slippery than others. There's some mossy surface on it, and if it's wet, very slippery, almost like ice. I guess I wasn't really paying too much attention and I slipped. My instincts right away was to protect myself from hitting a rock, and doing that, I let go of my hand. I was going down so quickly that I might as well not even be on a rope. I pretty much found myself on the ground on the rocks.
The landing area is rocky.
Well, I did land on my left foot first, and that pretty much took most of the impact.
Edgar's foot is hardly attached to his leg.
And that's when I realized my foot doesn't feel right. I looked at it, it was all like wangly and it just like moved around like as if it wasn't attached. I tried to pull it back together, so I tried to kind of rotate it and like see what I can do. Then I realized that, okay, like that wasn't happening.
Edgar can't go anywhere. Search and rescue is cold.
That might be a little bit of a pain.
I started, like, feeling like the shivers coming in and like just a mild hypothermia.
The helicopter arrives nearly 2 hours after the call.
Well, finally help is coming.
Edgar's ordeal is nearly over.
When I heard the helicopter, I got pretty excited. I just felt that like the wait is almost over and I was gonna get help and get rescued.
Edgar has to hop down to a more open location. Luckily, they were close to the trail.
I had maybe 2 or 3 search and rescue on both my sides. They put a harness on me, and Two of the search and rescue were on each side supporting me, and they just lifted me up. And then we got this whole 360 view of the surrounding, which was pretty neat.
It took a couple of years to recover from the accident. But Edgar remains adventurous.
It's like I don't really want to stop living and experiencing things just because it's safe all the time. You just have to be smarter.
During his recovery, he engaged with Mother Nature on a different level, photographing outdoor sports.
I definitely have a lot of respect for Mother Nature. That's the strength and power of all its forces is just mind-boggling. You don't mess around with Mother Nature, you can only respect it.
Snowy Wisconsin, USA, and this young chap is excited about his dad's new purchase. Carrying a new flat-screen TV whilst navigating an icy path isn't easy.
Hey, open this one.
But this dad looks like he's got it under control. There's a slight delay at the door. And it's dad down. The slippery steps were his undoing. And it looks like there'll be no movie night tonight. Texas, and this resourceful lady wants to move her car to the garage. She starts de-icing the driveway. It's a full-on faceplant. Nice try, but there's no outsmarting Mother Nature. In this episode, we've seen how flash flooding can devastate entire communities.
We had nowhere to go.
We've learned how ice can turn treacherous in the blink of an eye. We've witnessed the havoc-wrecking strength of a tornado. And next time, there will be more. Because deadly weather stops for no one.